Hello guys and welcome to Laravel 7 tutorials. So guys, in the previous video we successfully implemented the awaiting block functionality for the admin dashboard, and which is not mentioned right here, but it is an important functionality and that's why we implemented it. So guys, in this video we are going to implement something similar, but this time we are going to implement it for the user dashboard so that a user can keep track of the awaiting approval blocks that are related to his own ID or himself. Okay, so let's start, and I have already accessed my project directory and right here, and it's already running. Why? Because I wanted to save some time, and right here on the Firefox I have logged in using my admin credentials, and on the Google Chrome I have accessed my project using a normal user credentials. Okay, so we are going to implement the same page for this user panel right here. So let's start without further talking so that we can save some time. Okay, so let's do that. First of all guys, what we need to do is we need to create a link right here similar to this one. So let's do that. For that I will move to Sublime, Resources, Views, User Panel, Layout and Sidebar right here. So we are going to implement the another link right here. So let's copy it so that we can save some more time. Okay, from the backend, Layout, Sidebar, and I'm going to copy this link right here till right the HR. Okay, so let's copy that. I will close this backend right here. Let's move to user panel, layout, sidebar, and let's move down here and we are going to paste it right here. That's it. Okay, so now let's do a refresh right here on the user dashboard. Sorry guys. Okay, so now when we click on awaiting approval, we are going to get a 404 not found. Why? Let's see this URL right here, awaiting approval. Okay, let's move to web.php. The reason we are seeing 404 is right here because this route is defined inside this middleware which says to check the role, and if the role is not, or let's say if the role ID is not related to the admin ID, we are not going to process any further request and we are going to show the 404. So that's why we are seeing a 404 right here. So in any case, for the user dashboard we are going to create a new page for this awaiting approval. So let's do that, and for that I will once again move to Sublime. I will close this for now and our work is done, but like we have done something partial, we need to change the URL right here as well. So let's keep that for now, and I will move to backend, awaiting blade right here. I'm going to copy everything because we need the exact same page from right here. Exactly. Okay, exact same page. So I am just going to Control A, copy everything, Control C. That's it. Now let's move to user panel and I'm going to create a new file, and this time let's name it once again awaiting.blade.php. It doesn't really matter. Why guys? Because we have the same file but it is in a different folder structure, so we can access it and we can have a file name that is similar to the other one. Okay, so we can have two files with the same name if the folder structure is changed. Okay, just keep that in mind. Okay, now let's do a refresh right here. Okay, let's move to awaiting approval. Let's click it, and now once again we are seeing awaiting approval because we haven't implemented the route. Sorry for the silly mistake. Okay, so let's close this, and now let's move to web.php so that we can create a specific route to access this user related awaiting blade. So I'm going to create a new blade right here. Let's say user awaiting blocks, or yeah, this is fine. Yeah, route get user slash awaiting approval. Yes, we can do that, or let's change it to something awaiting approval blocks. That should do the trick. And now let's point our block controller. Now we are going to implement the same method with this name inside this controller. Okay, so let's do that. Let's move to block controller, and now I will move down till the end. Yeah, so right here I'm going to put a comment user awaiting blogs blade or view. Yeah, view should do the trick. Okay, so let's create a method, public function, same name. Let's return the view. This time we are going to return a view from, any guesses guys? Okay, so user panel dot awaiting. That's it. Now what we need to do is we need to define this URL to this admin dashboard, sorry, not admin dashboard, user panel sidebar. So let's do that. Nice and simple. Let's do a refresh. Let's go back. Let's do a refresh. And now let's click awaiting approval. Okay, so I think I have mistaken something. Okay, so yeah, I got it. Okay, return view. Now it looks fine. Let's do a refresh. Okay, so now we are able to access the awaiting approval, but right here you can see the sidebar is changed, and that is similar to this one. Why? Any guesses guys? Just take a guess. Okay, let me tell you. Let's move to awaiting blade, and right here, because we have copied this file from the backend right here, so in this case we need to make the changes, and in this case we need to access not the backend but the user panel layout. That's it. That should do the trick. Refresh. Right. Okay, so guys, I just want to tell you that our auth related and middleware right here, the auth related middleware and the check role middleware is working perfectly fine. What happened right here was basically we were just copying, or we were just trying to extend a layout that was created in the backend that was not related to anywhere right here from the middleware. Okay, just keep that in mind. We were just accessing the layout. That's it. Okay guys, so now we have made some changes. Let's do a refresh and everything seems normal. And just one thing, because we are trying to access this awaiting JS. Okay, so for that let me show you the error what we are having right here. Let's inspect network, and I'm going to refresh to show you something. Refresh and some error, and right here you can see 404. So why are we seeing this 404 on get all awaiting blogs? Because we are trying to access this blade, and this blade is accessing this awaiting.js. And now let's move to awaiting.js. For that, let's move to public backend partials awaiting.js, and right here you can see we are trying to access get all awaiting blogs from the user panel. Let's move to web.php and let me find this for you. So right here once again this route is defined inside the check role middleware. That's why we are seeing an exception right here, because a normal user wouldn't be able to access admin dashboard related pages. Okay, so that's why what we need to do is, guys, we need to create another route for the user so that he can access this specific method which we are hitting right here. Okay, so we can do that with the help of creating a new route. That's it. Route, this time it should be post, because we are using a post request from right here. Okay, first of all, before creating a route, let's put a comment right here. What we need to do is we need to create a similar JS, but that would be related to, because we don't want to change the route or the URL right here. So I'm just going to copy everything from right here, and once again I'm going to create a new file inside the partials. Paste. Let's save it. User awaiting.js. As simple as that. Okay, so now let's move to awaiting blade, and right here let's change it to user awaiting.js. Now we can make the changes to the URL right here. Okay, so now in this case let's move to web.php, uncomment this. Now let's create a route. Okay, so user get, let's say get user, or let's say get awaiting user blogs. Yeah, This seems fine. Okay, so now once again we are going to access our controller, block controller, and we can simply hit this specific method, but in this case we want something else, because we don't want to show all the blocks for this specific user panel. What we need right here is we need to see all the blocks that are related to the specific user who is logged in. Okay, so I hope you got my point. So we can't access this because this method is doing something else. So we need to create something else, and let's do that. So get awaiting user blocks. Now we are going to create this method in block controller. So let's do that. Get all specific user related awaiting blocks. Okay, yeah, nice. So let's create a method public function. Sorry, I was just trying to copy this name, the method name. So let's do it right here. That's it, nice and clean. DD here. Now let's just check if we are hitting this route or not, but for that what we need to do is we need to change the route right here as well, the URL. So from the web.php we can copy this and we can paste it right here. That's it. Now let's do a refresh. Okay, so once again we are having an exception. So for that let's move to dashboard, the user related dashboard, maybe sometimes because this issue is related to cache. So okay, now I think this is my mistake, so let's move forward, and right here is the mistake. Sorry guys, double slashes, sorry guys. Let's do a refresh. Okay, so now we are able to access our route. As you can see, the status is 200, and right here we can see the message that we did right here in the controller. Okay, so we can copy this code from right here for getting all the blocks, so that we don't have to type anything right here, but we can simply make the changes. So let's do that, and I'm going to remove this DD. I'm going to paste everything. Let's align our code from right here to right here. Why? Because we have a lot of comments, and let's say if you don't want to ruin your code right here or the indentation right here, so what you can do is simply copy the code or select the code you want to indent. Okay, so in this case we don't need that, but we need a specific user ID who is logged in. We can do that. Let's say we can get the specific user ID who is logged in right here as well. We can get the ID right here as well, but in this case the best case scenario, or let's say the best case would be if we can get the ID right here. Whoever the user is logged in, all we need to do is we just need to get the ID of the logged in user. So we can do that with the help of this $user_ID is equals to auth user ID. Because in this case I just want the ID, I can access it directly, or if you want to, let's say if you want to access all the data related to specific user who is logged in, you can simply do the user. You can stop it right here. Okay, so just in case, and now let's see if we have a user ID or not. Okay, so for that I will once again do a refresh right here. Okay, right here, and right here you can see the user ID. Let's access our project right here to the user table, and right here you can see this is the normal user using which I am logged in with the help of credentials right here. Okay, so everything is working perfectly fine. Now we can change our condition right here, or we can change our query. Okay, so let's do it like this, where user_ID is $user ID. Okay, and then where active is 0, and one more thing we can do. Basically I'm doing a method chaining right here. So first of all I need to remove it from right here. No, not right here. Sorry guys, I'm making a mistake. I know. let me see where exactly, and where, let's say that should be active and it should be 0, and we need to get it where, yes, I think we need it right here as well. Yeah, let's see what we have in the blogs. dd $blogs. Okay, let's do a refresh. Syntax error, that's what I was thinking about. I think I'm missing something right here, where blog user ID is $user ID. I'm missing something and I'm not getting it, guys. I don't know why. There is some mistake where ID, this should do. Okay, so this is the extra one. Sorry guys, I don't know why, but my mind is not working. Okay guys, sorry for this. Okay, now what we can do is we can simply also do is order by ID descending. That should do the trick. Order by ID, so that it should be in the descending order, DESC or DESC should do the trick. Okay, now let's see if we have our blogs right here. I'm going to do a refresh. Okay, so unexpected again, and right here I'm missing it right here. Okay, sorry for these mistakes. Okay, so now we have our blogs. Let's do a OK, and yeah, everything is working perfectly fine. So what we are doing right here, we got the user ID who is logged in. The auth refers to the logged in user ID, okay, to the logged in user credential or something you can say. Okay, basically what auth means is whoever the user is who is logged in, we need to get his data. You can simply use auth. Sorry guys. Okay, so blog where user ID is user ID that we are getting from auth, and where active is 0, and order by ID descending, so that we can get the data in chronological order. That's it. So that's it, and that should do the trick, and everything seems normal to me right here. Okay, so let's do a refresh right here. Okay guys, so now we are able to get the specific user related blogs, where, let me show you, blogs right here, and right here where the user ID is 2. Okay, so second user has only 2 blogs and one of them is inactive. So we are successfully getting the awaiting blogs right here for the specific user who is logged in. So everything is working perfectly fine. Now we need to make some changes, because a normal user won't be able to see this awaiting area, or let's say the column. Okay, so let's correct this, and for that I will move to user awaiting.js, and I'm going to remove this from right here, because this relates to approve, and in order to make it correct we need to remove it from right here as well. Okay, and now I'm going to remove some extra code because we are not using or approve blogs portion right here. So let's remove it. Okay guys, let's do a refresh. Okay, so everything is working perfectly fine. Let's say if a user is going to log in, if he has created any blogs, he is going to see it right here, because by default a user blogs needs an admin approval. So I'm just going to make an extra blog just for the testing with some random text, so that we are on the same page. Okay, so in this case let's use this image, because this is just for the testing purposes. Okay, create. Let's move to, okay, so we have an error. Okay, sorry, the image alt field is required. I think I didn't put any sort of text right here. Okay, now let's create. Okay, so blog created successfully. Let's move to awaiting approval on the user dashboard section, and right here now we have 2 blogs that are awaiting for the approval, admin approval. So our functionality is working perfectly fine. Now let's say if user created a specific blog and now he wants to delete it, we can simply delete it, but we need to make some changes. Why? Let me show you. Let's click on this delete. Yes, delete it. Okay, so this is the same issue guys that we are encountering right here. We are receiving an exception. Why? Because this user is not an admin, and for the delete right here we are trying to access the admin dashboard related route. Okay, let me show you. So this is the route we are trying to access. So delete blog, let me show you right here as well in the blog section right here. So this is inside the check role middleware, that's why we are not able to access it. So for that, in order to access the delete functionality for the blogs, we can simply create a new route, get user/delete blog, and with the ID, that's it. Now we can simply hit the same method using a different route. That's it. Okay guys, yeah, okay, now it should do the trick. So for that we need to change this route to right here as well in the JS file. Yeah, okay, so let's do a refresh. Let's try to delete this testing route. Delete, are you sure? Yes. Okay, so the blog is deleted successfully and now it's gone from right here. So everything is working perfectly fine. Now let's discuss the case for the edit blog. Guys, what we have discussed about this edit blog for the user panel is, let's say if a user creates a blog, now it's in the awaiting list. Now let's say if a user want to edit his blog, only in this case if the user if the blog is in awaiting state, user will be able to edit his specific blog. Okay, let's say if the blog was approved by the admin, now a normal user cannot edit his blog. Why? Reason is because the blog is already published, and in that case, let's say if a user want to edit something and let's say do some like fake pictures or some sort of nude pictures, etc., he won't be able to do that with the help of edit functionality. So we are going to give this edit functionality to all the user until the blog is approved, and we are going to implement this in the next video. So that's it from this video guys, and we successfully have our awaiting blocks for the user and for the admin dashboard as well. Admin will be able to see all the awaiting blocks and user will be able to see only his specific awaiting related blocks right here. Okay, so we are going to implement this edit functionality in the next video, and I hope you guys like this video. If you liked it, please like, subscribe and share. Thank you, take care, and yes guys, be ready. Okay, take care.